It's September 23rd, 2015, and this is your Fortean Slip news.
RT.com. Just an R, just a T.com. Identity. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about tonight, Chris. I've already lost it before I even started the fucking news. Identity of an unidentified flying craft spotted over Long Island puzzles experts. Researchers are still baffled by an unidentified flying object
I'm still
videotape.
baffled how you try to fucking act like it's just when we record the news that you're a bumbling fucking buffoon.
So you're saying that even before we record, before you ever press that record button, I'm already a bumbling fucking buffoon. Is that what you're saying?
Sure.
Okay, you're probably right. You're not even probably right. You're definitely fucking right. Researchers are still baffled by an unidentified flying object videotape in Long Island, New York. Months ago. It was done months ago. The boomerang-shaped craft, which some believe was a drone, was filmed by an unidentified witness. There's a lot of unidentified things going on here. It was in April on the 17th.
It helps to make it unidentified, Steve.
Yeah. That way nobody can be questioned, right? The eyewitness submitted the video to the Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON for short, an organization that investigates possible UFO sightings. When I looked to my left, I noticed red and blue lights hovering, the witness wrote in his MUFON report, found at the organization's sighting report database. I stopped and watched for a little bit to see if it was just someone playing with a toy. Then the object went higher into the air and started to move pretty fast. I then took out my phone and started to record for as long as I could till my phone died. The video shows the object zigzagging back and forth, decelerating, then stopping before speeding up and moving from side to side once again. Some MUFON researchers believe the object was a small drone, yet the camera angle leaves little in the way of conclusive evidence. I looked at the video and found there is no reliable way to determine the object's range. This presents us with a problem in determining the nature of the object. Mark D'Antonio, MUFON's chief photo and video analyst, by the way, told Huffington Post. They have a chief? I want to do that job. I'm no good at it, but neither is they, right? Everything's unidentified.
Come on, Steve. You're a fine investigator, or so somebody said.
It doesn't take a fine investigator to look up in the sky or look at a photo of something up in the sky and say, oh, yeah, this is unidentified. That's it. That's all you got to do. I wonder if he gets paid. I bet he does. MUFON's New York field investigator, Joseph Flammer, said the witness report was the only filing related to any Port Jefferson sighting. It's a highly populated residential area, and we have a lot of interesting things in the sky, with both Kennedy and LaGuardia airports just a few minutes away by air, as well as Long Island's MacArthur Airport, he said, according to the Huffington Post. Flammer agrees it could have been a drone, as the flying level seemed typical of a person flying a craft at night.
Aha.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's that story. Oh, if you want to look it up, it's MUFON sighting report, case number 64777. 64777. Got that, Chris?
Bingo.
64777. WSCNC.com. This is not the one I want to read yet. I want to read the other one first. Sorry. Well, there's a reason. ScienceWorldReport.com. That sounds real sciencey, like a really important science website or something. Science World Report. I mean, damn. Sequenced flatworm genome may unveil the secrets of regenerative medicine.
Are you trying to pump up the story?
No. Oh. It's a flatworm. Yeah. pump it. Imagine regrowing lost limbs. That's exactly what a certain flatworm can do with its
Dr.
regenerative.
Connors already has, Steve.
Okay, I don't know who Dr. Connors is.
That's right, because you're fucking pop culturally ignorant.
I mean, the name sounds familiar and all, but is it? I don't know. Anyway, a certain flatworm can regenerate with some powers, some sciencey powers he's got.
Some sciencey powers?
Well, yeah, because, you talked about Dr. Connors and pumping up flat things, and I lost my space in the story, so I had to kind of make up words to, fill in where
the blanks until you found your spot.
And then I found my spot. Now, scientists are aiming to learn a bit more about this regenerative ability after sequencing its genome. The flatworm, in this case, is called muscrotum?
Are you fucking 10?
Let me try that again. Macrostomum. The lignano. I think that's how it goes. It looked like my scrotum at first.
A flatworm looks like your scrotum?
On certain days, Chris, yes.
Oh.
It's a possibility. No, my flatworm is not flat at all. Flatworm, in fact, flatworm.
My fucking impressive. What?
Yeah, my flatworm is quite impressive. I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I mean, I have an idea, but can I just read the story?
Sure. Go ahead.
My flatworm has absolutely. I'm just going to say my flatworm through the rest of the story. My flatworm has absolutely extraordinary abilities. It's able to regenerate every single part of my body, except for my brain. I'm making the story personal, Chris.
And true.
And pretty true. Well, of course, my flatworm does have extraordinary abilities. So by studying this...
No, I mean, like, the part about you not being able to regenerate any part of your brain. If anything, you just destroy it on a daily basis.
Studying my flatworm, it may be impossible to apply these types of regenerative abilities in modern medicine. This and other regenerating flatworms have been the same kind of pathway operating in stem cells that is responsible for their remarkable regenerative capabilities, said Gregory Hinnon, one of the researchers. As we started to try to understand the biology of these stem cells, it very quickly became clear that we need information about the genetic content of these organisms. I was going to say orgasms, but, I'm not 10. The researchers found that this part... I am. Yeah, I am. The researchers found that this particular flatworm, whoever wrote this, doesn't have a good grasp on English. Flatworm had surprisingly complex genome filled with repetitive elements that made it challenging to assemble and analyze. At a genomic level, it had almost no relationship to anything else that had been sequenced before. The goal of the project was to enable ourselves and others to do more new biology, said Hannon. The hope is that as these tools become more available, the community will grow. My flatworm is going to grow. Yeah. That's too much fun in that story. My flatworm cannot regenerate my brain, I found out. So from WCNC.com, very, very sad news today. And this is serious, folks. From Sparks, Nevada, police identified the couple found dead inside an apartment on Tuesday as Mark and Debbie Constantino. Local paranormal investigators featured on the Travel Channel's hit series Ghost Adventures. In what police believe is a related incident, a third person was found dead in a home in northwest Reno. The Constantinos were found inside their daughter's apartment near Sparks High School. SWAT teams from both Reno and Sparks Police surrounded the Courtside Gardens apartments, evacuated the complex, and put it on lockdown. A Sparks police officer is taken to an ambulance following an armed standoff with the believed homicide suspect at the Courtside Garden apartments. The officer was injured during a compression blast while trying to extricate the subject. Police began their investigation shortly after 6:30 a.m. when a woman arrived at a home in Escalera Court to find her male roommate dead inside. Reno Police Lieutenant William Rula said. His name has not been released at the time of the writing of this story. I think it has been by now, but I can't remember. Police learned that another roommate, Debbie Constantino, was missing. Officers tracked her cell phone and found her inside the apartment in Sparks with her estranged husband. Upon arriving at the apartments, officers knocked on the door and heard several shots fired, said Reno Police Deputy Chief Tom Robinson. The suspects told police, "Give me 15 minutes to gather my thoughts or I'll kill her," Robinson said. Officers said they heard a man yelling at police to leave. Officers began negotiating with the man, but eventually used explosives to blow the door open and found a couple dead inside. Police did not say how they were killed or what kind of gun was used. Anyway, I'm not going to read the rest of the story because we get the gist of it, but he apparently kidnapped his wife, and, that's how it ended. So she had filed for divorce, or not filed, but said that she was going to divorce him like a week prior. And so I'm guessing that's kind of what triggered it. Thoughts, Chris?
It's a sad story, but I wonder how long it'll take Zach Baggins to try and buy and or rent the place that this happened at.
I would honestly hope that, you said Baggins. My mind went to Hopins. I would honestly hope that, they leave this one be, Zach Baggins or anybody. Zach obviously knew the people because he worked on Ghost Adventures with them, but, I would hope they'd leave it be and just, I don't want. It's a sad story, man. There was a lot of domestic violence apparently in that relationship. Seen a lot of posts on Facebook from people who knew the couple personally and had met the couple at different, conferences and events and things. A lot of Bigfooters knew them. A lot of ghost people knew them. UFO people knew. And they, seemed like a pretty happy couple. But a lot of times you don't know what's going on at home. And
oh yeah, absolutely.
And we talked a little bit before the show, domestic violence is a fucking horrible thing. And yeah, it's just, it's a sad story. And I don't know what else to say about it, but it's pretty bad. So I feel bad for the innocent third person that was killed because I don't think there was any relationship going on there or anything with the Debbie there, but he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time,
I don't know anything about the story besides what we read or what we went over tonight. But
yeah, I'm getting off Facebook from people that knew them and know a little bit more about the story than I do.
Yeah. And I'm not a big fan of Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters or Ghost I'm not a big fan of those shows because I think a lot of them are very contrived. So. I mean, it is what it is.
And that's the case. But it just goes to show, we put people like these folks who had a lot of followers on Twitter, Facebook, people watch your TV show and they're ghost celebrities or whatever, But we put these people high on a pedestal when sometimes we don't know the real story behind what's going on. And so that's kind of...
we're all people.
Yeah, people's people. So... And I learned today, Chris, on another note, that food is food. Food is food, according to a biologist in Maine, or an alleged biologist, I'm not sure.
Oh.
Food is food. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's bird seed. Doesn't matter if it's processed food. Raccoons can eat it. Skunks can eat it. It's perfectly okay.
Okay.
Just so you know.
All right.
Go ahead and put some pizza and, Twinkies out for your forest critter friends now. It's safe. A biologist says so.
Good deal.
Yeah. And that's the news, Chris.
The opinions of Steve and or a alleged biologist from Maine do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Fortean Slip.
Exactly. It's fucking stupid. Food is not food.
Steve,
Come on, people.
Steve, I bet you Mick West wouldn't tell me something like that.
He wouldn't.